this committee. Frida Naito, a member of the committee.
Martin Kimani, a member of this committee.
Douglas Motea, a member of the committee.
Honorable Kennedy Mainge, a member of the committee.
Mutebe Miyuki, a member of the committee.
I'm Patrick Mutuma, MCA Kisima, Majority Leader, member of this committee.
Thank you, honourable members. Then we have an introduction from the staff, starting from Gatwiri.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mary Katwiri Ndege, the clerk in charge of the committee.
Good morning. My name is Benson Kenywa, representing the legal office.
I'm Chairman Mutuma, Assistant Committee Clerk.
Good morning. I'm Isaiah Mbitiwe, Hansard Officer.
Good morning. I'm Christine Moiti, Research Officer.
Thank you, staff and other members. Leader, once again, welcome to this vetting process. And I have two questions for you. And first of all, I would like that you give all the certificates to Honorable Onaito. And secondly, you have worked on in various institutions that are outside of Kenya, the IBC. And now today you are nominee for the position of the Deputy Governor Meru County. What do you perceive to be the roles of the Deputy Governor? And two, how do you intend to assist the Governor in delivering services to the people of Meru?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. First of all, allow me to take this opportunity to thank God for this day and to thank His Excellency, the Governor of Meru County, for nominating me. It is indeed true, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members of this committee, that I have worked at the LSK, the Law Society of Kenya, and also at the IEBC selection panel, and also the tribunal that dealt with the removal of some of the commissioners, previous commissioners of the IEBC. Now, the role of a deputy governor, that I understand, and according to Article 179 of the Constitution of Kenya, is to be the principal assistant to the governor. That is where the role starts, and that is where my duties end, to be the principal assistant to the governor. To your second question, Mr. Speaker, sir, on the issue of how I will assist His Excellency, the Governor, in service delivery, I believe, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, with the experience that I have had from the Law Society of Kenya in terms of legal oversight, and also in terms of stakeholder management, and also from the IEBC in terms of electoral integrity, and also in terms of institutional independence of various institutions and public accountability in public management. I believe that I will be able to assist His Excellency in ensuring that his mandate and the priorities that he has set for the people of this great county, I will be able to assist in terms of ensuring accountability, transparency, cohesion in governance, and also ensuring a collaborative leadership with His Excellency to ensure service delivery to the people of Meru County.
Thank you, Rita. Rita, I know this thing is streaming live, and I know the people of Meru and the Meru community in Ranch, and also the people outside Meru, the diaspora, are watching this vetting process. What did you tell the people? Who are you? Where have you gone? Which institutions have you worked for? What achievement have you been able to bring to the people of Meru? Achievement to the Kenyan community in general? When you were in school, how did you impact to the other students, positively, negatively? We wish to know those kind of issues.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members of this committee. I started my educational background at Kaaga Primary School, and I proceeded to Bishop Lawi Matthew Primary School for grade 5 and 6. I moved on to Meru Junior Primary School, where I finished my KCPE, and I was able to proceed to KIOME Girls High School in Embu, popularly known as Sacred Heart Girls High School, for my KCSE. I finished thereafter. I joined Moi University, where I undertook a Bachelor's of Laws degrees, and I finished with an honors, and I was able to proceed to the Kenya School of Law, where I did my postgraduate diploma. Successfully so, I was able to be admitted as an advocate of the High Court in the year 2012, and I have practiced as such since the year 2012 to date as an advocate of the High Court, practicing in the name and style of Charles Kariuki and KIOME Associates Advocates. Mr. Speaker, sir, and members, when I finished my undergraduate degree, I joined the Kenya Institute of Management, and I was able to undergo a diploma in project management. I also undertook some certificate courses while in the university, where I did disaster management courses under USAID. Thereafter, before I was admitted to the bar, I also worked with, I took an internship period with the United States Agency for International Development, where we worked as a legal, I would say we were engaging ourselves with paralegal training of chiefs and members of public in Kiambu and Nairobi areas, in Limuru, Waitevye, and Gatondo areas. That was before I joined the Kenya School of Law. Now thereafter, when I joined now and I started practicing as an advocate of the High Court, Mr. Speaker, sir, and members, in the year 2012, that is when I started practicing. And in the same year, I was able to be elected as a representative of the Meru Bar Association to the Law Society of Kenya, Mount Kenya branch, where I served as a representative. 2 years down the line, I was elevated to the position of secretary to that Law Society of Kenya, Mount Kenya branch, and I rose through the ranks, Mr. Speaker, sir, and members, until I became the chair lady of the Law Society of Kenya, Mount Kenya branch. I served 2 terms of 2 years each, and before I completed my term, I also joined and was able to be elected as a vice chairperson of the Law Society of Kenya Chairpersons Caucus that represented all the 8 chairpersons. And thereafter, I also joined in as a chairperson of that caucus before my term ended. As the term ended, Mr. Speaker, sir, and members, I was able to take over the Law Society of Kenya, acting as the president, through a judgment that had been delivered in the year 2022 by Honorable Justice Chitembwe. And through that judgment, I took over the mandate of the presidency of the Law Society of Kenya, and I undertook all the responsibilities to ensure that that society ran in the manner in which it was envisaged under the Law Societies Act. Thereafter, Mr. Speaker, sir, and members, and in between my career progression, in the year 2015, I was appointed as a board member in one of our local schools, KAANYA Girls High School. I did a term there of 3 years. Thereafter, I was also appointed, Mr. Speaker, sir, and members, as a board member, or rather a council member at the Meru National Polytechnic, where I also did a term of 3 years before I entered into politics in the year 2022. Even then, before the politics, I was appointed by the former governor, His Excellency Kiraitu Murungi, to be one of the board members at the Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital, where I did a short stint before I also joined politics in the year 2022. Thereafter, I was fortunate enough to have been appointed by former senator and former cabinet secretary, Honorable Mithika Linturi, to be his running mate in the year 2022 elections. And once the elections were done, I was able to also be appointed by the former governor, Her Excellency Kawira Mwangaza, to be her legal advisor for a term of, it was supposed to be a 4-year term, but however, the relationship ended even before the first year finished. Immediately thereafter, I was appointed by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, to be a member of the UDA National Elections Board, where I served where I had been serving before I joined the IEBC. And before then, Mr. Speaker, sir, I was also appointed by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, to serve in the IEBC tribunal, the Muchelule tribunal that saw the recommendation of the removal of the Cherera 4 commissioners, the former commissioners of the IEBC. In January this year, Mr. Speaker, sir, and members of this committee, I was also appointed by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, as a member of the IEBC selection panel, where I underwent, before the appointment, I underwent an interview before the Parliamentary Service Commission, and therefore I represented the Parliamentary Service Commission in the selection panel, but representing the majority party, UDA party. And now that is where my career journey has been up to date. I have also, in between all those appointments, managing my law firm. I have been practicing as an advocate of the High Court until up to date, where I have successfully managed the law firm that I took over from my former boss, the now High Court Judge at Narok, Honorable Justice Charles Kariuki. That is basically my profile, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wakili Ndagaki. Any member who has a question for Gaki? Yes, Honorable Motea.
Thank you very much, Chair. Once again, I'm Honorable Douglas Motea, MCA, I'm Central Ward. My question is, first of all, congratulations for the achievements and also the appointment.
Thank you very much.
As a leader, as a woman in leadership, how do you intend to promote gender equality? And also, what will you say about the menace of GBV, gender-based violence in Meru? Just those two questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and Honorable Mutea. I thank you for congratulating me. To take on your question, as a woman leader, I am very focused and intentional on ensuring that through policy building, we promote gender equality and ensure that we advocate for women leadership, women governance, and women inclusivity into governance issues within the county. I would also be very intentional on promoting women education for transformative leadership in the county. I would also be intentional on engaging women on several fronts, especially in decision making and stakeholder engagement. Where issues touching on women are concerned, I would think that they would be the best people to make decisions that would be affecting them. I would also want to engage investments in women businesses, whether private businesses, whether through women groups, the local chamas, or societies that encourage women investment. I know most of the time women always want to progress in business because they are the backbone of our families. But usually the problem is capital. So I would like to engage women to ensure that we alleviate those issues of lack of capital through working with circles and women groups. To the second issues about gender-based violence, it is unfortunate that even as we progress as a society, we always find women are disadvantaged in one way or another. And for me, I would tend to think that sensitization on gender-based violence would be the best approach. We sensitize our men, our women, our youth on how to identify and resist gender-based violence. I would also want to wish that on that front, we create rehabilitation centers and safe spaces for women who have been violated in one way or another. And also remembering, even women sometimes engage themselves in gender-based violence against men. And the most unfortunate thing is that this being a patriarchal society, men always want to feel that they are the stronger gender. So when they undergo gender-based violence, they do not want to speak up about it. So I would want to create a safe space, especially for men, to be able to know that there is somewhere they can report and they'll be attended to, whether using a physical permanent facility or using wellness clinics and camps in various places, because if we are going to create permanent facilities for gender-based violence, we have to do it in every ward or in every constituency within the entire county. But infrastructure is expensive. So also wellness camps that are not permanent would help us to help the men and the women in tackling gender-based violence. That is a plus for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader. Yes, Honorable Grace Kambura.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
From being nominated by His Excellency Ngabana of Meru Isaac Mutuma as his deputy governor. What did you do, your first priority with the office when you approved by this committee? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Grace Kambura, for congratulating me, and thank you for the question. Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members of this committee, my first priority in office would be to prioritize the vision and the manifesto and the agenda of His Excellency, the Governor, Meru County. Principally, I am his assistant. So my agenda is to ensure that the work I do is committed to the vision that His Excellency has for this county. And I know, having looked at how he has come into office and remembering his manifesto, he is very intentional on issues of agriculture. He has brought in investors to invest in agriculture. He is also very intentional on youth issues. We are facing a lot of unemployment in youths. And I have seen that he is very intentional on ensuring that the backbone of our economy, agriculture, youth, and also issues of health and building infrastructure in health has been alleviated. So I would prioritize on prioritizing his vision, manifesto, and agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Joaquin. Yes, Honorable Wakiri.
Thank you, Chair. I must commend you have quite a recommendable and spotless CV. My first question would be, having served in quite significant and critical roles in this country, what is one attribute that you feel as leader you bring into the county? What is that one Midas touch that you are bringing into the new government? Secondly, when the new governor took over, he has made significant effort to unite different factors in Meru, different functions in Meru County. Now, being the deputy governor, how also would you be of help and now making sure that unity that is building is not only symbolic, but it's actually actionized from even the perceived opponents? Thank you.
Thank you, Wakiri. As leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members. Thank you so much for that question, and thank you for the recommendation, Mheshimiwa. First of all, I am a transformative leader. I am actually a transformative and consultative leader. I lead with a lot of consultations. In fact, if we are seated at the table, I would give everyone else the chance to make their contributions, and I would come in as a last so that I can hear what the other leaders have to say about an issue. So that is what I bring to the table: consultative leader and also a transformative leader in ethics, governance, and public management of resources. Number two, Mheshimiwa, you have talked about the unity that is existing, which I highly recommend, and His Excellency the Governor has really put in a lot of work to ensure that we have this unity in Meru as it is now. My input would be to ensure collaborative leadership, to ensure participatory leadership, to increase on that consultative leadership, and to engage all the leaders and stakeholders, whether religious, whether cultural, whether political, across the board, even gender, and even the youths, the marginalized in our society, and even the people living with disabilities. Once we encompass and we bring everyone on the table, I can assure you, Meru will go places. We will ensure, and I will purposefully support His Excellency the Governor in ensuring that we have that kind of a cohesion for purposes of service delivery to the county, to the people of the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Yes, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Chair. Congratulations, Madam Linda KIOME, for being nominated or appointed to this position. I have only two questions. The first question, Madam Linda KIOME. I know you know Meru very well. You have been Meru for long. Then there is a time that you are learning with the former CES. And I know very well that you know issues affecting Meru County. So what are the key issues facing Meru County currently? And how do you propose to address them? That's the first question. The second question, Madam Linda KIOME. I have heard several people outside Meru say that Meru people cannot be led by a woman or cannot be governed by a woman. So what's your take on that statement? Thank you.
Thank you, Majority. Yes, our key leader.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members of this committee. On the first question, Mheshimiwa, the issues that are affecting Meru County are common because the county's backbone is agriculture. Now, we are facing issues of climate change and environmental degradation. I would think that one of the major issues why we may have low productivity in agriculture is because of environmental degradation. And being that most of our members of this county are farmers, we are faced with shortfalls of rain. Sometimes the rain is too much, sometimes the rain is too little. So environmental degradation is one of the issues that we have to deal with. It is one of the issues that is affecting economic status of this county, and it is one of the issues that we have to advise our farmers on better ways of planting hardship crops or resilient or climate resilient crops. Number two, unemployment, especially of youths, is also one of the major issues that we are faced with in Meru County. I would think that if we alleviate our youths through the vocational training centers and give them a platform where we can increase or better their hard and soft skills, then we will put them in a national, county, and international platform that will enable them to be able to compete with others when they have proper skills, without which then we'll be having unemployment of youths, and we have to tackle that so that our youths can have a better place in this country. Now, the third issue that I feel that we must tackle, and which is a problem in this county, is our infrastructure in health. Our health systems are not very good. Our health systems may not have been working for the longest time. We lack infrastructure in our health facilities. I have seen His Excellency, the Governor of Meru County, has really put a lot of effort in the recent past to be able to alleviate these issues. So engaging also public-private partners to come into play to enable and to increase the infrastructure in our health facilities will help alleviate that problem. Also, public-private partnerships in vocational training centers will also do us good, where we can have investors that will enable our youths to get the best practices and the best trainings that will compete in the local market. And also, third, in terms of environmental degradation, we need to teach our farmers how to deal with climatic changes and how also to be able to plant more trees so that we can have more rain and tackle the climatic issues. Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Wakili Linda. Yes, Honorable Muna.
Thank you, Chair. And congratulations, Linda, for your appointment, for your nomination, sorry. So mine is just a simple question about the relationships between governors and their deputies in this Kenya. Meru case is not unique. We have had cases in Nairobi, in Kisii, in other counties all over Kenya, where we have a deputy governor not in good terms with the governor. I'm not envisioning a crisis or a bad blood between you two, but I'm asking myself, what if? So what if? What if?
Thank you, Mona. Yes, Honorable Linda.
Thank you very much, and thank you for congratulating me, Mheshimiwa, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members of this committee. It is indeed true that the relationships between the governors and the deputy governors is something that everyone can see, and most of them are very much troubled. But I am not worried, Mheshimiwa. I'm not worried because I have seen how the governor has engaged everyone else. And I know that mutual respect that he has given the rest of the leaders in this county, I know that is where we are going to start with mutual respect. And we are going to have a shared vision with His Excellency the Governor, and I'm going to fully support his manifesto and agendas. Number two, if at any moment in time there may be a dispute or an issue that may arise, then I would really indulge into internal dispute resolution mechanisms. That would mean we sit, we dialogue together. If we are not able to sit and dialogue together, I would propose that we engage other members that would be able to mediate, but internally, so that we can be able to manage the conflict internally without it coming outside unnecessarily, and also without impeding on the service delivery of our people. I would think having such dialogue, I would think ensuring that we have mediation, internal dispute resolution mechanisms, they always help, so that where two people are not able to agree, then a third party can come in and assist in resolving the issues. And that is how I'd look at it in that front, Mheshimiwa. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Linda, I can see it's going to be it's going to take more time than expected. That bottle of water there belongs to you. You can have a sip as we continue.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, Honorable Karimi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My name is Agnes Karimi Guantai. Congratulations, Madam Linda. I have one question for you. Suppose we approve your nomination. How do you intend to share the resources of Meru equitably across all the wards and the sub-counties?
Thank you, Karimi. Yes, Linda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members. Thank you, Mheshimiwa, for the congratulations. Now, I would think that equitable distribution of resources has to be key, so that every ward, every constituency, every ward can have the resources of the county. That is one of the objects of the county governments, to ensure equitable distribution of resources. The only way we can do that is ensuring participation in budget making. Stakeholder engagement. When we are doing our budgets, public participation is important, so that people out there people who are going to be touched, people who need our services out there, the citizenry, who are our employers, can be able to come in and give their inputs when we are making the budget. That is where resource distribution starts. Now, it does not end at public participation. It also means that once their input has been taken during the public participation, their input has been included in the budget making process. Because public participation does not end at the arena where people have made their contributions. Those contributions must be included in the budget making process, so that once they have requested for a certain project, then we must ensure that project has reached our people for proper service delivery. Number 3, we have to monitor. We have to monitor that these projects that were budgeted for in the distribution of resources equally, they have been implemented. It goes without saying, it is one thing to budget, but it is another to actualize the project. So we must monitor and ensure that the projects that were budgeted for have been implemented fully, and that the quality of the projects are of high standards and that they have passed the test of time, and we must ensure that the people have been included in the budget making process for that to be achieved. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Akili Linda. Yes, Naito.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm Frida Naito. Congratulations, Rida, for the nomination. My question is, how will you work with the County Assembly to ensure that county government programs are implemented smoothly and transparently? Number 2, describe your leadership style. How do you handle disagreements, criticism, particularly in the government? And as a woman in leadership position, how do you plan to promote gender equality and empower women within the county? Thank you.
Thank you, Naito. Linda, have you noted the questions or she repeats herself?
She can repeat, Mr. Speaker, sir.
No, that's very fast.
Thank you. Okay, sorry. My first question was, how will you work with the county assembly and ensure that the council programs are implemented smoothly and transparently? Number 2, describe your leadership style. How do you handle disagreements or criticism in the government? Number 3, as a woman in leadership position, how do you promote gender equality and empower women in Meru County?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members of this committee. Thank you, Mheshimiwa Frida, for the congratulatory message. And going straight to your question, dealing with the county assembly, I first respect the fact that the county assembly is a legislative arm of this government. So any policies, any bills, any laws that have to be passed must come through the county assembly. And I appreciate that is a fundamental and key area of any county government. So therefore, it goes without saying that for proper engagement with the county assembly, we must have consultation forums, without which, Mheshimiwa, we would not be able to move forward. So frequent consultation forums, which means now we have to have clear communications between the executive arm of the government and the county assembly. Once we have clear communication and proper consultations, then we'll be moving forward as a team. Remember, we have to work as a team for this county to progress forward. Number 3, I would think that having joint forums between the executive and the county assembly, but also respecting the fact that the county assembly does the oversight role of the executive, so that we do not overpower the roles or usurp the roles of the county assembly. It is important for us to have joint forums engagements in matters in relating between the executive and the legislature, which is the county assembly, in matters policy making and bills and any laws that may be passed in this county, and also issues of budget. Now, and also I would think that it would be important to have joint committees where issues of audit are concerned. Not to mean that we would again usurp the powers of oversight of this assembly, but to give maybe clear guidelines or clarity of issues where issues of audit are concerned for seamless oversight by the assembly. On my leadership style, Mheshimiwa, Mr. Speaker, and honorable members, I am a consultative leader. I engage openness and transparency. I also like to engage consultations with members that we are dealing with. I also like openness where issues are concerned. I'm a transformative leader. I like to live where I have entered differently than how I found it. So I'll be able to engage other leaders in consultations, in openness. I run an open door policy, and I also like criticism, positive criticism, because that is the only way you can know whether you are progressing forward. That is how you can audit yourself. That is the only way you can move forward and be able to make decisions that assist and give service delivery to the people. Engaging the people, I would instill a culture of getting feedback from the people, whether it is positive or negative criticism. Once you're in leadership position, you must be able to accept both positive and negative criticism. You can only build yourself on the grounds of the two. And as a leader, you are the only one who can be able to make a decision of how to take those two. So for me, I really do not have any much problem with positive or negative criticism. All criticism is important for me to progress forward and to ensure that I execute my mandate in the manner in which serves the people of Meru. Empowering women. Women are the critical backbone of our families and our economy, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members. And therefore, empowering women, especially in matters finances, empowering women in education, empowering women in leadership positions and representations would be key for me. I would think that the more women we have in any forum, the better for gender equality, so that we can ensure that we comply with the Constitution, the 2/3 majority rule, so that we can also align ourselves with the national laws of this country and in accordance with the Constitution. Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Linda. But I thought all human beings are equal. And these days, women are more equal than men. Only that we don't talk. The things that are done behind the scenes are very terrible. So actually, in terms of gender, we should be complaining. And you are the majority, ladies. What will be your take on that? Myself, I feel we should do away gender equality. Human being is a human being.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I think the Constitution of Kenya envisaged a situation whereby majority of leaders are elected, because we live in a patriarchal society. Majority of the leaders are elected are usually men. And even in this county assembly, I want to believe that there is only one female elected.
Wakiri. And who are the majority?
The majority
In the society.
In the society, that is debatable, but they say it is women.
Yes. So it's a decision.
It is, Mr. Speaker, sir, but we have to follow the law. And that is why majority of the nominated members of this assembly are women, because the law envisages that where representation in terms of gender is not enough, then there must be a way to make it even. And the only way to make it even would have been to create that two-thirds majority rule. And Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, it is not only in elective positions, even in appointments in government, in boards of public institutions and corporations, we must ensure that there is a two-thirds majority rule, not only now in terms of women representatives, but also in terms of men representatives. Because you may have an appointment of a full house of women. So that is where the men come in. You cannot have a full house of appointments of women. Those appointive positions must also comply with the two-thirds majority rule. So the men also have a place to fight in the gender issue. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and members.
Thank you, Linda. Yes, Honorable Jim.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Jim Uchui, a member for Adwana Ward and Majority Whip. And again, congratulations, Wakili, on your nomination. So I have three very brief questions. Number one, what do you think is the most urgent need that we need to address as a county? Number two, previously or historically, in the budgeting processes, we have been budgeting whereby the vote for there is only vote for the governor in terms of budget allocation. Do you think there is a need of having an independent vote for the office of the deputy governor for operations? Number three, we have seen you around, and I have seen in the social media and rumors out there, and I read a very long story by a blogger yesterday, alluding that you started working long time ago, and you have a fully fledged office even before the approval of the assembly, and that you even signing documents. That's what I read there. And because it's out there, how true is that? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Jim. Yes, Wakili Linda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and members of this honorable committee. Thank you, Honorable Jim, for the congratulations message. I want to say that the most urgent need in our county today is the issues touching on agriculture. Now, agriculture is a backbone of our economy, without which we would not even be able to collect taxes as a county and revenue as a county government. So if we have a market for our produce, if we have good prices for our produce, if we can be able to add value to our produce to get better prices, if we are able to use better agricultural practices by our farmers to get bigger and better produce, I think that would be the most urgent issue we need to tackle in Meru County today. To go to your second question, budgeting processes, and now that you have asked whether there is need for an independent budget for the office of the Deputy Governor, I would say yes, very important need, because the office of the Deputy Governor also must align itself with the vision and the manifesto of His Excellency, the Governor. We have seen previously the Deputy Governor, now His Excellency, the Governor, how he was stifled because he did not have a budget. He was not able to work well. He was not able to engage with the members of the community, and that brought up a prolonged dispute between the office of the Governor and the office of the Deputy Governor, although that was not the only issue. I would think that independence of the two offices, so that the office of the Deputy Governor can be able to prioritize and ensure the policies that have been passed have been implemented into actionable projects. There is need for that vault for the purposes of that office. And also, you know, the office of the Deputy Governor, in terms of supporting the Governor, cannot support the Governor without a budget. So it goes without saying, if you're able to support the office of the Deputy Governor and facilitate the same with a budget, then executing their work as a principal assistant to the Governor would make life easy, both for the Governor and for the Deputy Governor, and also for the implementation of the manifesto of the Governor himself. Now, the issue that you have raised that I need to clarify for the members, the general public, it is not true that I have already taken office. The public appearances I have made were made through invitation of the Governor himself as a visitor, so that I could see the projects that he had been inspecting. I was also invited by the Deputy President of the Republic to also be part of the forums at the County Aggregation Industrial Park that he was inspecting. And I did so as a friend to this county, and I also did so in my personal capacity, also as a fellow politician. I also saw very many politicians there. I don't know why I was singled out, or maybe it's because of this nomination. But I want to state categorically, Mr. Speaker, sir, and members, I do not hold any official office in this government as at now. I have not used any government vehicle or facility to advance official business, which I do not hold. It is also not true that I signed documents. I do not even know what documents I would have signed in my personal capacity. I think those are just rumors that were dispelled, maybe to tarnish my name or to bring discredit to my reputation for the purposes of this activity today. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. But I thought that on the issue of allocation of funds to the Deputy Governor's office, to bring the regime, since he's a member of the budget committee, to ensure that the office is fully funded. But I believe he has a yes or no, Martin.
Okay, thank you, Chair. And let me take this opportunity to congratulate you for your nomination. So my first question goes direct to, are you still a member of UDA party? And if so, how do you plan to handle instances of differences where your party's stand or direction does not go in line with your boss, the Excellency Governor, who is an independent candidate, or who is an independent governor? So my second question, so how do you plan to reconcile the agenda of this government with the vision that you carried during 2022 elections? My third question, what specific things will you carry out to reduce the rate of increased unemployment in Meru County? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Honour Martin. Yes, Wakiri.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, sir, and members of this honorable committee. In terms of my association, Mr. Speaker, sir, with the UDA party, I want to state categorically, Mr. Speaker, sir, that those associations, even though they have built me in so many ways, even sitting at the IEBC selection panel, will not in any way impede my work in the new mandate that if I am given the new mandate, Mr. Speaker, side members, they will not impede my work as a deputy governor in the event that I am appointed. I want to say that transparency and accountability in public offices is very key, and I will ensure that I do constant communication and clarity of issues with any stakeholder who may be interested in knowing how my association with the UDA party has been or will be at that point. Being a member of the UDA party, yes, I have been a member of the UDA party, but that does not in any way impede my work as a nominee or a future, if appointed, deputy governor of this county. I also know that associations in political associations, they come with time and they go away with time. That is why people say there are no permanent friends or enemies in politics. This is basically a political office, and I know and I respect my boundaries with previous associations, and I will not in any way let those associations bar or impede service delivery or my association with the governor himself or any other member, even at the county assembly. Political associations, ethics and governance, we must put our political differences aside to ensure that this county moves forward and in the right direction. Now, the vision of His Excellency the Governor, Meru County, as it is now, and the agenda that we had in the year 2022, they are very closely related, because I remember at the time we were trying to come up with how we would deal with value additions in terms of agriculture for produce. I have seen the passion with which His Excellency the Governor has been very key, especially on issues of agriculture. I have even seen that he has brought investors to ensure that we value add the products that we have. I have seen his passion in potatoes. We have those aggregation points. We have cooling facilities, because the county aggregation and industrial park has those cooling facilities to ensure that our potatoes do not go stale before they reach the market or before we get an investor to buy those potatoes even as a whole. So I think that the vision that we carried in the year 2022 and the vision of His Excellency the Governor, they go hand in hand. But whereas where the vision of the governor sitting now and the appointive, my nominative authority, do not align with the vision that we had in 2022, then it goes without saying that I will fully support the vision of His Excellency the Governor as it is now and not what we had planned, because that government never saw the light of the day. There was the last question, Mheshimiwa, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, that you asked was how do I intend to alleviate unemployment? I tend to think that unemployment issues mostly are affecting our youths. Now, most of our youths do not have the skills, whether hard or soft skills, to be able to place themselves in the right market, whether at the county level, whether at the national level, or at the international level. I would propose to have the vocational training centers upgraded and infrastructure built in those centers to be able to carry out and instill in our youths competency-based curriculum, so that the skills that each one of them would want to have. Maybe someone wants to be a mason, a plumber, a welder, right? And any other skills. There are those who would want to have skills in heavy machinery operations. There are those who want to be truck drivers. How can we bring investors so that they can give us the infrastructure to help our youths get trainings in soft and hard trainings? Number two, so that they can be able to market themselves nationally at the county level and become competitive also internationally. How would we be able to bring in issues? How would we be able to bring in issues of using the already established ICT centers at the constituency level to be able to instill soft skills to our youths? If those ICT centers are there, how do we bring in people who can be able to train them on use of computers, on how to even use those computers to get work? I know most of the youths, they do research work, even for foreigners who are outside the country. How can we be able to train our youths to be able to use those facilities that are already there for purposes of getting money? That way, we will increase employment. That way, we will not have youths misusing drugs and alcohol. That way, we will not have unemployed youths, which leads to crime in the community. So we keep our youths busy by bringing in investors, by ensuring that we make use of already built facilities and infrastructure to help them get the skills that they need to be competitive in the market. And that way, we will create a better society for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Martin. Honorable members. No, from where I sit, I'm able to see everybody is wherever you are sitting, and Honorable Sarome, since you came in, you have been very attentive. You know I've been a teacher. I exactly want to know what are your feelings.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Salome Mutua, nominated by Bas Party, and I've come to celebrate or also to witness our Deputy Governor vetting. I'm happy that she is competent and she has values and skills we want in Meru County. And I experienced the value, Mr. Speaker, and the way she has articulated about youth. I'm happy as a mother, and I know our youth will be improved, and we will have a good society and a helpful youth who can add value to our community. I'm happy, and God bless you, our sister.
Honorable Sarome,
okay.
Do you have any question for the nominee?
I think she has been asked all questions, Mr. Speaker. Mine is, at least to congratulate
Thank you.
the members, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Salome. Yes, Honorable Mbioki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Congratulations, Madam, for the appointment. I have two issues. Number one, you served under the former governor. And the little time that you spent with her, I think you've been able to establish that we have a lot of legal challenges, especially cases pending in court. We have so many pending bills accumulating from legal fees. And in most of these cases, the county government has lost. So we are incurring expenses on cases that we've already lost. So what will be your take as far as those legal matters are concerned? Number two, if my mind serves me well, I remember there was an issue of your documents having been forged somewhere. What will be your take on the same now that you might be the deputy governor? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mbioki. Is Wakili Linda KIOME.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members of this honorable committee. Thank you, Mheshimiwa Mbioki, for the congratulatory message. I want to say that yes, indeed, I served under the former governor, Her Excellency Kawira Mwangaza. I was there serving as a legal advisor, and unfortunately, my professional work ended as soon as it began. But I want to say this, that was a professional engagement. My work was to give legal advice at that time. As advocates, we do not solicit for advice. You have to wait for your boss to request for advice, and whatever advice she sought from me, as little as it was, I was able to give it. Whether it was implemented or it was taken seriously, then that was subject to the appointing authority. Indeed, so there are many pending bills for purposes of payment, and most of them are legal bills. I think we are happy that one of the major bills has been taken over by the national government. And whatever remains, also I know there are other bills that may be a burden. I would say that it is important for us to do a legal audit to establish whether these bills can be paid, or whether these bills are legitimate bills, and whether the money that is being requested in those bills have been worked for. So first of all, we do legal audit, we do a legal oversight, and we ensure that while at it, we engage our stakeholders. Most of them are maybe contractors, most of them are the legal representatives of those contractors and service providers that have a claim on those pending legal bills. So once we engage the stakeholders, once we do the legal audit, we'll be able to separate the wheat from the chaff, so that we know this bill is legitimate, these bills are not legitimate. That way we'll reduce the burden that is on the county government. Then I would also think that even while we have so many pending bills, they can be paid in part, so that we do not overburden the budget that has already been created. They can be spread throughout. Those that are legitimate can be spread for purposes of not overburdening our financial budget. I would say that in the issue of that case, it is a matter that I complained before the Senate, where my signature was forged by the former governor, purporting that I had written a legal opinion that in effect gave her the power and the advice and the mandate to terminate the employment of the county secretary of the Public Service Board of Meru County, Madam Virginia Kawira. I reported that matter to the police in Nairobi, to the regional DCIO, and they are following up the matter, and I will, I'll ensure that that case does not in any way impede my work. I know that for sure I would have to engage mediation, because the county government in actually the matter that I have with the former governor for purposes of employment, termination of my employment, that matter that is before the Employment and Labor Relations Court, I would have to engage mediation so that I do not become conflicted in matters that are concerning the county if my appointment goes through, so that that issue can be resolved amicably without necessarily burdening and creating any conflict of interests. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wakili Linda. As I want to conclude this session with Honorable Miniti Kaipo. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question to the nominee is on where we all started. The area of the ECDE curriculum. As a member of the Education Committee, we have had some challenges in addressing education of the ECD level. We have found that we forget that it is under the county government. Given that the school in the compound, together with the grades 1 to other grades, we forget the nursery school is under the county government. And I hope this time around, through you, the ECD children will have a county that takes care for them. As a trainer, I have had a lot of problems and challenges when I was a teacher, especially when we have festivals. I used to produce chorals and solos for the young ones. Anytime we won to get to the county level, we want discriminated that we are not under free primary education. Most of the times I was left the children in the field when others go to present the next levels. And I hope this is the time now we need to get to the right place. What is your take on the ECDE management from now onwards? Thank you, Honorable Miriti Julius Kaipo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you, honorable members of the committee. Thank you, Mheshimiwa, for that question. I think that the ECD is a foundation of the very basic education that every child needs, basically to start their educational background. And being the foundation of education, then that is where we need to put our most input and infrastructure to ensuring that those children start their education life from a very high note. We have a problem with unemployment of our ECD teachers, and I think that is an issue that can be resolved with the new government, and I know His Excellency the Governor would be very much intentional in ensuring that we have a proper student-teacher ratio in terms of employability and infrastructure for the ECDE classes and education generally. But also, even as we employ our teachers, the question we should be asking ourselves is, do we have the proper infrastructure? Not a while ago, I saw a rooftop of a certain school. on social media where the rooftop had been blown away by wind. Are those the kind of places that we want our small, vulnerable children who are not used to being away from their parents to start the educational life? So it's for us to instill the infrastructure, proper infrastructure in those classes. Now, is it proper for us to add materials in a class that is roofless? We must take our priorities right. We must have our priorities right. We must build the outside infrastructure for the purposes of now adding onto the material infrastructure and to make the facility good enough for the small children. These small children usually sleep, most of them they sleep in the afternoon. So do we have the material to ensure they are comfortable in class if they are going to sleep in the afternoon? Or will they be released from school at 12 p.m. so that they can go and rest at home? Those are the kind of issues that we need to deal with. If we do not have the budget, we must look for partnerships, whether public-private partnerships, whether a CSR, community social responsibilities from partnerships, from investors and from people who are dealing with the county. If it is fundraising, we must ensure that those facilities have been well equipped for those children to take up their basic education. Now, we also know that it is in the general public, and Mheshimiwa, you being in the education committee, I am sure you've heard that our ECD classes do not have enough students. Why? Because the parents have taken away their children to private ECD schools, whereby their children, now not being comfortable in the public facilities, have been taken away. So how do we ensure that we take back, or we create an environment where the parents are also saying, oh yes, we can now take back our children to those public schools? Do we look at food and nutrition for the small children? Remember, these are small babies whose bodies are still growing and they need proper nutrition. Not every parent at home can afford to give proper nutrition for these small children. As a county government, what do we intend to do? How can we be able to ensure that the small children, they get maybe an egg in school, if not an egg, a fortified porridge that will ensure that child looks forward to tomorrow to coming to school to learn? We need to rethink about that education system that is within the county government. We need to rethink about employing our own youths who are ECD teachers. We need to rethink about the infrastructure of the ECD classes. That would be my contribution to the ECD program. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Wakili Linda. Wakili, the members have listened to you very keenly and with a lot of interest. And of course, you know very well that if they approve you tomorrow, then the title changes from Wakili to Her Excellency, the Deputy Governor. What you do is to tell the honorable members now they own that key to that particular given title. What will be a parting shot?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members of this committee. I want to say that as my parting shot, I have profound commitment to public service. I have the experience, I have the humility to be able to take on my responsibilities, to ensure that I leverage on the experience that I have had in leadership, in governance and management, so that I can also add and contribute positively even to policy making in this county to ensure that our people get a better life in future. I want to request this committee to consider my appointment and my nomination, and I will take the work that I will do with the seriousness that it deserves and with a lot of humility. I will ensure that I support His Excellency, the Governor of this great county, to the fullest of my ability, and I will ensure that I drive his agenda and manifesto and his vision to ensuring that this county moves forward. I want to take this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, sir, and members, to thank God that I have reached this position. I am not very special, more than others who are interested in this position, but it is with a lot of humility, and I thank God, and I want to ask that you also come in as deliverers of a blessing that God has given me to approve my appointment, and I will not let this county down. I will not let the women down. The women needs a second chance, Mr. Speaker, sir, and members, and I will prove to our patriarchal society that has supported these women that we truly deserve, and we will move forward in good leadership. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Wakili Linda. Now, in compliance with the two agenda that we have been insisting on, I request Honorable Agnes and Sarome to ensure that you are safely out, and also they should ensure that you get your certificates and any other document, and also they should ensure that you also don't leave the bottle of water, because it also belongs to you. The honourable members will sit before the end of the day to come up with a report. Thank you. Be blessed.